The Volkswagen microbus has been a really influential vehicle in history. It's made millions, it's seen all around the world, and it's done everything from cross entire continents to help put out fires, to take people camping, to hauling all kinds of stuff in its various different guises. But that vehicle hasn't been on sale here in North America now for more than 2 decades. And today I'm here in California to preview the next big thing, at least Volkswagen hopes so, the Volkswagen ID Buzz long wheelbase. Now the ID Buzz has already been on sale in Europe now for a while, and it's doing pretty well. It's proving quite popular with outdoorsy camping fans. But here in North America, it's only going to be sold as a long wheelbase version. And tomorrow, to coincide with the first ever International Volkswagen Bus Day, of course Volkswagen had a part in that, there's going to be the official launch of the ID Buzz long wheelbase. Today though, we are going to get a sneak peek, and just down there behind that curtain is a vehicle that we're going to get to have a quick look at. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you. We're not going to have a chance to sit behind the wheel. We're not going to have a chance to drive it. It really is just let's look at the design, let's look at some of the key features and give you a first butcher's look, as we would say in the UK. So why don't you join me as we go down the stairs, and we're going to give you a very, very quick look at the ID Buzz long wheelbase, and we're also going to throw in some vintage buses while we're at it. Come on.
Shades, and you fall up love like a mad cat. Throw your jokes like a salty blade. Oh, are you trying to kill me, babe? Oh, with your lips so tight. Oh, are you trying to steal my breath? Oh, with your dance like fire.
Here we are at the side of the Volkswagen ID Buzz long wheelbase, and you'll notice that it's got that extra third row, and you notice that extra length here in the door. It's slightly larger than the 2-row variant, and of course you still have a good amount of luggage space in the rear. I would love to show you around the interior, but we really don't have time, so I'm just going to talk through some of the most important features of this vehicle. Of course, the 3-row variant, which is about 10 inches longer, I'm afraid I don't have my autometric translation algorithm online right now, is noticeably larger than the 2-row ID Buzz, but you do get the ability to remove the 3rd row of seats if you want to carry an inordinate amount of luggage, and the cavernous luggage space in this vehicle really is monstrous. There's plenty of space for the 2nd and 3rd row, and I should note here that in this particular variant of the ID Buzz long wheelbase, you get all of the heated seat features as standard. The outboard seats on the 2nd row come with heated seats. In the front you get heated and cooled seats. The front seats are all electronically adjustable. In the 2nd row you have an ability to move the seat fore and aft manually with a mechanical switch, and in the rear you can do the same thing. Both the 2nd and 3rd row are on the same rail-based system. As I noted earlier though, you can actually remove those 3rd row seats very easily just by pulling a catch and lifting out the seat, which gives you access to more luggage capacity if you need it. I should also note at the rear here, there's a little platform that's been designed so that if you want to put a mattress in the back of this and camp out in your long wheelbase ID Buzz, you can do that with nary a problem. Now let's talk about some of the less cool pieces, at least from my perspective. There's a 91 kilowatt hour battery pack. That's the gross figure, not the net figure. And you will be able to choose between a rear-wheel drivetrain that's going to develop 282 horsepower or an all-wheel drivetrain version with 320 horsepower. While Volkswagen hasn't given us an official range estimate today, I've heard figures bandied about unofficially that suggest somewhere in the 200 to 250 mile range, depending on whether you have the rear-wheel drive, the all-wheel drive, whether it's fully laden, whether it's empty. Let's wait until EPA publishes those figures before we comment any further. This, of course, is based on the same platform as the rest of the ID family, and therefore it's going to have all of the positives and all of the negatives that come with that. Namely that I've always felt that the rear-wheel drive ID family models have felt a little bit underpowered, and I'm not sure if the same is going to be true for the bus. The sad thing, though, is this is not going to be a long-range demon because of that shortened range and the fact you're going to need to be stopping and charging fairly regularly. In terms of price, again, I don't have any official word from Volkswagen on that, but I would be surprised if this retails from less than $60,000 to $65,000, and I would expect 70 is a significant possibility. At launch, there's only going to be one trim variant, which has a lot of the bells and whistles as standard, and you'll be able to layer on optional packages on top. And on that note, we are done with today's video. If you have comments, you can leave them below. You can drop us a polite note in the Discord chat room on Mastodon, or if you are a Patreon supporter, in the comments section there. If you want more, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow the links below to regularly support us with a YouTube membership or a Patreon subscription. You'll also find links to our Ko-fi, Bitcoin, and Swag store, as well as that aforementioned Mastodon server. Scrolling on my right is a list of amazing charged up supporters, and shout outs go out to our V2G Patreon supporters: Pedro Mora Pinheiro, Alan Tupper, Andrew Martin, Bennett Elder, Brophy Wolf, Chris Maxwell, Cyprian Laplace, Dan Blair, Gordon C., Hay Esker, John Tramal, Kyle Fox, Mark Eggleton, Peter Dillinger, Regine Fellows, Sean Tucker, Stefan Fremgen, Stephen Williams, Tazla in the Gong, Paul Bricknell, Tony Moss, Carl Hodgson, Chris Centaur, Denny Hyde, Lance Charles, Linda Irish, Mike Weeder, and Paul Nelson. And finally, big thanks to our off-grid supporters. They are Paul Conway, Kevin Burrowbridge, Stephen O'Donoghue, Jim Vaness, Robert Flannery, Aaron Hahn, Ellery Hensley, Rory Litwin, JP Fagerback, Dave Kitchen, Andrew Glenn, Anonymous Freak, Chris and Michael Johnson, Clay Witt, CPU Freak 101, Eric Knack, Joe Bresney, Joe Hughes, John L. Henderson, Laura Reynolds, Marcel Ward, Matthew Drobnak, Nigel S., Reggie Watts, Will Graylin, and of course, Ian. Don't forget that we make videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday on this channel, plus over on Sunday on Take 2 for our Chicken and Garden and Sunday Musing. And with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon, and as always, keep evolving.